I'm going to try this blog one more time. Um, so adding to that what I've discussed already regarding how the world is mimicking what's going on with individuals. What we've been practicing with releasing has been that ability to move the mind out of its involvement with all of these feelings that we've been compensating for many, many years with the mind, trying to manage feelings and change them, make things better. Because we over-identify with the feelings as being me, we get very panicky and we isolate when we think we're having these horrible feelings and they represent me, shame feelings and guilt feelings and inadequacy feelings, lonely feelings. And when we're thinking during those times, the mind tends to think, well, we don't deserve to have people around us, or we don't deserve success, or there's something wrong with me, and it just spirals around. So this mismanagement of these difficult feelings with the mind, trying to build compensating roles, has resulted in the way the world has functioned. And as we see, the world isn't functioning very well. We're seeing the whole world collapsing in a way. We think we can just build more structures to continue the financial, greedy, pushing kind of ways that we work with certain stronger, forces winning out to try to maintain the status quo, and this push and power and sort of a mind look-alike way of doing things, holding roles of power, holding roles of being the rescuer or the one to maintain democracy or whatever it is. Whatever we justify for all these actions in our world powers is very similar to the way the mind justifies its actions in the individual. And what we always end up with is a collapse into these negative feelings. And I think we're seeing a collapse of these structures in the world that go along with the way the mind, when it collapses in its roles, leads to our floating around in these negative feelings. Having said all that, really what needs to change is this focus of the mind jumping in. And also countries will probably find that jumping in to try to fix things isn't going to work perhaps this time or very soon. The world is moving through its orbit, and we have discussed the coming of the 2012 situation and what will happen with all the electromagnetic and other forces as the Earth is moving through to this part of its orbit in the universe. And it's all colliding together. There's an end cycle occurring to how we've been doing all of this, both on that individual level with how we've been operating with the energy and managing it as individuals, how the countries and how the world has been managing its structures. And we're coming to endings, and we don't do well with endings because we keep panicking when we feel these feelings. So the thing we need to do as individuals is to stay the course. We've got to break the mind's habit of getting involved in these difficult feelings. We have to actually stay the course where the mind can become aligned with clarity, with facts, with logic, with our intuitive selves. So we become whole and one instead of polarized, pushing away our feelings and trying to do everything with the mind. When we move this mechanism out of the way and we allow ourselves to be here and present, we have to move feelings out of the way for the mind to be able to think in that particular place where we're present. And we need to be able to align in that present place with the mind, with what is going on around us in the present moment, and with our intuitive forces. We become whole as individuals. We become aligned with everything around us. We can hold fast the course and find the solutions to what's going to be going on. And if we don't, as Lester said, we're going to allow ourselves to spin in some crazed ways with our fears. We're not going to be able to tolerate the change in all the structures that may be coming. So the releasing is becoming even more important now. than ever. But to really understand that your direction is into this place of mental clarity, where you're able to see things very clearly here in the present moment, where you're able to now detach your mind from rolling around in the negativity, to allow these feelings that are very powerful emotions to go, to stay the course, to stay grounded, allow these feelings to go, let go of thinking of it always as me, the isolated individual failing, or me, the isolated individual having to fight to keep it going. We need to really let that go. We need to surrender that. We need to surrender these feelings. We need to be here in this present moment with clarity, with vision, with being able to see and be able to intuit and use that quantum wholeness that will come to us. And that is in being able to be connected to everything, ourselves, the people around us, and everything. So part of the what's called for is to not allow yourself to isolate, to drown in negative feelings, to drown in fears, and to think you're going to sort it all out. That is the very mechanism that is going to keep you in the same spiraling place that we've been in. And it's now just time. It's actually a wonderful thing. It's now time for everything. All of us in the world, we're all connected. It's all one. It's a shift out of that place where we are so tempted to be an individual me by the fear, to take over, to fix it, to move it. We're tempted to be individuals because of the fear. It's a wonderful opportunity now to surrender that and to be able to be here, clear, united, in openness, in freedom.